Hey guys, today we're going to make a really fun drawing using two things, the color wheel and a lion. Now, if you read earlier, right before this video or right after it, it's going to tell you what a color wheel is. A color wheel is just a way to organize the colors of the rainbow. You might have also heard me talk about Roy G. Biv, which are the colors in their order: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Indigo is just a really dark blue. So today you're going to need a couple things. You're going to need a white sheet of paper, maybe a pencil if you want to draw in pencil before you start, a black permanent marker. I like to use a Sharpie. You're going to need a yellow marker, a blue marker, and a red marker. And then you're also going to need something that can give you two different size circles that you can trace. I have a large cup, and then I also have a bottle that has a circle for the bottom that's a little bit smaller. And you'll understand why we need that in a minute. So the first thing we're going to do is make sure that our paper is turned vertical. Vertical means that the long edges of the paper go up and down and not side to side. This is an example of vertical. Horizontal would be this way. So we want to work vertically today, up and down. So the first thing we're going to do is take our largest circle that we have, and we're going to put it in the middle of our paper like this, and we're going to trace around our circle. I'm going to draw in pencil because if I mess up, I want to be able to erase it before I keep going. So there's my large circle, okay? The next thing you're going to need to do is take your smaller circle and you're going to put it right in the middle of your larger circle. Let's do the other side. And you're going to trace it just like you did with the bigger one. And once again, I'm going to trace mine in pencil. That way, if I mess up, I can erase it and go back and fix it. And you can see that my edges are a little off, but that's okay. Now, if you drew yours in pencil first, you can go back and trace it with the black marker, or you can keep going. It's up to you. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to turn the smaller circle right here into the head of our lion. So let's go ahead and do that. First, we're going to give him ears. So right here in the top, I'm going to draw two half circles. And then inside those two half circles, I'm going to draw two smaller half circles. So those are his cute little ears. Next, we're going to give him two eyes, and we're going to make it look like he's kind of sleeping or got his eyes closed. So we're just going to draw two small curved lines like so. Next, we're going to give him his nose. So in between those two curved lines, you're going to come down a little bit and draw a straight line, and then you're going to draw a diagonal line on either side. A diagonal line is a straight line that kind of slants outward. And then you're going to connect those two just like this. So now you have a shape, because lines, when they're connected together and closed, make a shape. And then underneath that, you're going to draw a big, almost a circle, but not quite. And if you go over a little bit, that's okay. In there, we're going to draw his mouth. So you can draw a line like this and another line like that. And don't forget to give him some whiskers. And it's okay if you go out a little bit. See, I kind of messed up a little bit, but that's okay. Mistakes are all part of it. It's not a big deal. Next step, we need to separate our larger circle into sections for our colors of the rainbow. And you can do that by drawing 6 lines. So in between his ears, from the smaller circle to the larger circle, we have one line that connects the two. And you're going to do the same thing on the other side, from his mouth down to the bottom. Then you can go to the other side of his ears, and you can do the same thing. 1, 2, and then you can do the same thing on the bottom. 1, 2. So So I'll give you a minute so you can catch up. All right, so now we can move on to his body, and his body's not hard at all, so I don't want you to worry about that. So I'm going to show you how to do it. Step number 1 for his body. We're going to start on the left side. So you're going to start about right there, and you're going to draw a line that comes down. You don't want to go all the way down to the bottom of the paper, but you want to have a good amount of space, probably about a finger. And then you're going to come out and we're going to draw his little foot. Okay. And then you're going to come up like this and stop. And then we're going to draw his other foot. So you're going to, oh, maybe I'll bring that down just a little bit more. So then we're going to come out a little bit and draw his other foot. And it's okay if you go over the one that you already drew. You can leave that. And then we'll go up. So now he's got his 2 front legs. Now we're going to draw under his belly. So we're going to draw a slanted diagonal line and stop. Now we're going to draw his back leg because it's kind of like he's sitting down on his bottom. So before we do that, we're going to move back here. And we're going to draw his back side. So you're going to come down. This is kind of like his back. Go all the way down. And then you come up about right here. Give him, oh, see, I messed up a little spot right there. If you do that, that's okay. You can leave it. If you drew it in pencil, you can go in and erase it. So it's not a big deal. So we'll finish drawing his foot. He's got a big old back foot. Now we're going to go into his toes and draw some lines. So he's got his little bear claws. I mean, his little lion claws, not bear claws. This one is silly. Now we're going to draw his tail. His tail is super easy. It's just 2 curved lines. Well, 1 curved line. So I'm going to come back here. Actually, we're not going to start right there. We're going to come down here on the bottom. Okay. Now, if you're using a Sharpie, you can go ahead and start on this next step. If not, and you're using a pencil, you can go ahead and take your Sharpie or your black marker and trace over all of your lines before you do the next step. So when you trace over, you want to go very slowly, and it's okay. See how I went over and I missed my pencil? That's okay. I can just take my eraser and go back in and erase that little spot, and you don't even see that pencil, okay? But if you're using your marker and you don't have to retrace, you can move on to the next step. We have to make it look like he's got his little lion fur. So you're just going to come in and you're going to start drawing all of your lines like this. And that's his fur, and you want to go all over his body, his legs, his body, even on his tail. See how that works? Keep going. You can do a little bit on his face too, but not all of it. Maybe just around the outside edge. Okay. Once you've drawn everything, now comes the fun part. We can go in and we can start adding our colors to our color wheel. This will be our color wheel. So like I said before, you're going to have 3 markers, red, blue, and yellow. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start with the red. Now on a color wheel, you've got 6 colors. You've got primary colors and secondary colors. The primary colors are the main set of colors. When you mix them together, they make every other color that you find on the color wheel. So when you mix red and yellow together, you're going to get orange. When you mix blue and yellow together, you're going to get green. And when you mix red and blue together, you're going to get purple, or violet, as I like to call it. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So I'm going to take my red marker and I'm going to color in the red spot on my color wheel. Now, if you don't want to watch this in the video, you can go ahead and fast forward through this part. That's okay. Okay, so there's my red spot. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to color in my blue spot. So you want to skip a space and then color in your blue spot on your color wheel. Okay, and you'll understand why we're skipping a space in a minute. And once again, if you don't want to watch through this whole part, you can fast forward. Okay, lastly, we're going to color in the yellow section. So we're going to skip another spot and we're going to color in this yellow section up here. Oh, we don't want to color in his ear. Okay, there we go. Now, remember when I said that when you mix the colors together, you get a whole nother set? You're going to get the secondary colors. That's what green, violet, and orange is called. So let's mix our red and our yellow together. So we're going to start by coloring this section right here yellow. We don't want to start with red because red is really, really bright and it might not mix as well. So you always want to start with the lighter color first. Okay, and then on top of the yellow, we're going to add the red. And when the colors mix, they're going to make orange. Now, you're probably using Crayola markers, and your markers will work a little bit better than mine. My red is kind of dark, so it looks a little more red than it does orange. But that's how it works. So while we've got the red marker out, let's go ahead and do violet or purple, and it falls in between red and blue. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to color red, and then we'll take the blue marker and we will color the blue on top of it, and when the red and the blue mix, they should make a purple. And once again, if you're using the Crayola markers, they'll probably mix a little bit better than my markers will. But at least it's darker than the blue. And while we have the blue out, let's go ahead and make the green section. So we're going to color this section blue. And then we're going to go over it with the yellow. And ooh, this one worked really good. You can see that green coming out. See? All right, so that's how you're going to mix those colors. Now, if you're using the Crayola markers, I'm going to teach you a trick. If you get a little cup of water and a paintbrush, you can dip your paintbrush in the water and get a little bit on there, and then you can go and very carefully paint over your little color mixes where you colored with marker. And the Crayola markers kind of work similar to watercolor paint. It'll smooth your edges out and make it look really nice and mix those colors together nicely. If you want, you can go ahead and give your lion a big background, maybe some trees or some grass that he's sitting in. It's up to you. It's your artwork. But I can't wait to see how your color wheel lion turns out. So don't forget, when you're done and you're super proud of it, take a picture of it and upload it to Canvas so I can see it, okay? All right, see you later and have fun.